I love the sweater.
Yeah,
he's riding a dinosaur.
Look, if you need a suggestion for the sequel, Universal has the Jurassic franchise. I'm just saying.
Time for some season's beatings.
What's more intimidating, nailing the action of like a John Wick Santa movie or just being Santa himself?
It's a great question. I mean, I don't know, like, you know, I was much more concerned about the action, you know, because it's harder for me. But as you say it now, as you bring it up, the responsibility of playing Santa is a tremendous burden. I guess I wasn't really thinking about that as we shot it. I hope I do him justice because he is a complicated dude.
You ain't driving, are you?
I steer a little, but the Ranger do most of the work.
As a comedian, there's a lot of really funny stuff that happens in this movie, but you got to be the heavy, you got to be the mean guy. Do you think it was easier or harder for you to keep it together while all of this mess is just going on around you?
It's hard, bro. Maybe I make it look easy, but it's rough to keep that pressure because I have to keep the pressure going through the whole entire flick. You know, I keep the tension, the rage, the animosity. I have to maintain that through the whole entire movie. It was exhausting, but so fun to execute because when you do it, you feel like you fought Mike Tyson for 10 rounds. You know, because your action movie is only as good as your villain. So I had to deliver. There was a lot of pressure on me to deliver to make him funny without making him cute. You know, I didn't want the audience to like me. I wanted them to understand me. You have $300 million in your personal vault. That's what I want for Christmas.
What was your first reaction when you saw the concept?
Well, my first reaction, I mean, they said when they sent me the script that it's similar to Die Hard, but with Santa Claus. So I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds interesting. But reading the script, I realized it was a lot more. Like yes, certainly it had some of those elements, but at its heart is really a Christmas movie.
Welcome to the party, pal.
And that was my way in. That was what I embraced going into it. It's like, okay, no matter what we do, if we sell the Christmas movie aspect of it, if we sell the relationship Santa develops with the little girl, we can go as crazy as we want on the other stuff. And so that was key to me. When people leave the theater, I still want them beside, in addition to seeing all those crazy things and fights and craziness, I still want them to leave feeling they've seen a Christmas movie.
I want you to put down your weapons. And then I want to find my reindeer and I want to continue delivering my presents.
The fun thing about Santa Claus and about me in general is like, you know, he does have a center of him that's very heartwarming, loves kids, like loves generosity, the spirit behind Christmas. I really do think I have that. And then underneath it, though, there is a part of him that is, you know, angry and tired and dark and been through a lot of stuff, seen a lot in this world.
I started the whole damn thing.
When you need both of those halves, I mean, who are you going to call?
Because I want to make it my personal mission, my holiday to-do list, to find you and to end you.
That is a terrible thing to want for Christmas.
Unfortunately, being a Latin man, I've always played villains, and I was up to here with the villain thing. But because we don't have enough heroes, that's the problem. We need more Latin heroes so we can enjoy our Latin villains, because the best roles written in movies are always the villains. And I want to be able to play villains, but you got to give me my Latin heroes to counterbalance that, you know?
No, absolutely fair. And we're seeing that with Black Panther this weekend. That was really nice.
Oh, I was so looking forward to like a real Latin, indigenous looking person instead of, you know, white Latinos and white passing Latinos like myself always in the roles. There
was nothing we cut that, surprisingly enough, like I was sure that a couple of times people would say, and Tommy, maybe this is a little too much, but no, never got that note, because I do think I'm a big believer in tone in movies. If you can balance the tone right, you can get away with anything. And if we show that this is a good-hearted movie, good-hearted nature, and it's got a big beating heart, then those things will be forgiven. And you do it with a sense of humor, those violent moments and those scenes, and it's all in a fantasy world. So yeah, no, we never got any pushback, and I think that makes for a more interesting film. Like it goes to big places.
The existence of Mrs. Claus is teased in this world, but we never see her. Who would you cast as your partner in crime?
It's a great question. I mean, it is an action movie. Is The Rock available, we think? I mean, my dream, that's a joke, but my dream would be, like, I just loved, because it's an action movie, right? Like, and Leach did Atomic Blonde with her, and she was so good with the choreography. Like, my dream, she'll never do it, but my dream would be Charlize Theron. Like, I feel like she's such a badass. And, like, I remember her in those fight scenes just being so incredible. So yeah, that would be my dream casting. But whoever plays it, if it happens, is going to be wonderful. It's such a weird thing to ask me because I feel like it'll be played, 10 years from now, and people will, get mad at me. But she would be my dream.
Who would you want to cast as Mrs. Claus to stand shoulder to shoulder with David Harbour?
Honestly, for sure we do want to see Mrs. Claus if we're lucky enough to make a sequel. But casting wise, I don't know if I can say anything. But there's been some talk, but I don't want to spoil it. It will be a nice surprise if we ever get there.
We just got the new trailer for John Wick Chapter 4, and I got to admit, I'm missing Aurelio. Is there any chance you're in the next chapter, or maybe talking about a spin-off?
Who knows, bro? Who knows? I mean, the last time I was in a John Wick movie was John Wick 2, but I got cut out. I had a fight sequence. I had a backstory.
We got to restore the Leguizamo cut, man.
Yeah. Find that footage. I bet you it's super funny. My fight sequence is dope. Dope as all get out.
You play such a cool role in Quantum of Solace as Greg Beam. How did you land that so early in your career?
It's because Mark Forster's like an insane person. Who was the director of that. I love him. And I remember when he cast that movie and even, I met him and I read and he just loved it. And I had this weird mustache and he just loved me. I was like a, like early 30s, like weirdo, wasn't really working that much. And he just loved me. And I showed up on set and I just remember producers and everybody being like, just biting their nails and being like, he's a little young. They didn't like the casting at all, but Mark is just a, brilliant, fun, weird guy. And he wanted to hire somebody like me. And it was very affirming. So it was a really nice thing to do to a young actor at that time, for him to cast me.
Mr. Claus, thank you so much for this interview. This has just been a treat. I look forward to seeing you on Christmas, and stay safe.
Thanks, man. You as well.
Where is it?
I gotta watch.
I believe in you, Santa.